You can see how many viewers.
All right, I think we're live. So everybody, welcome to this Entrepreneur Hangout with Lisa Grossman. My name is Unique from the Boss, and I'm really happy that you're here on this Hangout with us right now. If you have any questions during the Hangout, just go to entrepreneur.com/live, and there will be a question box where you can leave your questions for Lisa, and she will be able to answer them. So Lisa, are you there?
I'm here. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you find yourself.
Yeah, we have people from worldwide, so there's going to be people from everywhere in the world. So Lisa, would you introduce yourself a little bit? I know that I've introduced you a little bit already, but can you tell us a bit more about your story?
My name is Lisa Grossman, and I spend my life in all aspects of the wacky, wonderful world of home-based business, direct sales, network marketing. I spend a lot of time with some internet marketers. People say, are you old school, are you new school, are you online, are you offline? And I really don't pay much attention to that because I think it's all the same. I think there are correct ways to do business, and I think there are incorrect ways to do business. And I think that as time evolves, technology makes it possible to reach more people faster and more efficiently. And if you're doing the correct things and the messaging is correctly, that can accelerate your success. And if the messaging is wrong, you're just going to fail faster in front of a larger audience. So I think people get a little bit too obsessed with the technologies and the methodologies and not focused in enough on what it is they're doing and what the business they're really in. So while I know how to build network marketing businesses, I've got some expertise in that, I've been doing it a long time, I'm really known for understanding the business model of direct sales and network marketing. And I spend a lot of time teaching that. I have built large groups. I do have existing groups that pay me rather large incomes. I also teach and train generically and for specific companies that I'm not a distributor in all over the industry. And that's kind of what we're doing here today. We're just kind of generically talking to people that I assume are in some form or fashion taking control of their destiny and building an empire from a spare bedroom in their home, or today, really from anywhere you go, because if you have one of these, there's
There
nothing
you go.
that holds you back. And we're kind of going to answer questions and talk a little bit about whatever you all want to talk about. So I'll be
Yes,
going back and forth over here to
perfect.
Alphapreneur Live to see what kinds of questions you're asking, and also letting Yannick feed me questions.
Perfect. What I really love is that you're so humble because you have built millions and millions, huge teams, and everything was done offline. So you just started with your online marketing, your online brand. So this is all kind of new for you, right?
Well, actually, I have still, even with people that I've met online, like we met online, I'm still very much a person-to-person builder. And on top of that, I used conference calls for years, so I was always building long distance.
Yeah.
So to me, that's really a function of, if you're not building live and in person, sitting across from somebody at a coffee shop, which I've not very done much of in my career, I was always more of if I was live, it was to do an event than I ever was to do a one-on-one meeting. Then I think that if you're building not in front of somebody, then you're always using some form of technology, and it's not that big a transition. But I still don't really build online. I don't have capture pages, and I don't put things up on Facebook. I think that's the equivalent of putting a sign in your yard.
Yeah.
I think that people are people and have to be treated as such.
Perfect. I agree with that. So let's say that you're a new person in the network marketing business. You just joined, very excited. You got this product that you want to recruit people on and sell. How would you get started? Because I know that a couple people on this call are actually pretty new to this industry and new to network marketing. What advice would you give them if they just got started?
Well, that's a lot of questions because let's look at what network marketing is. Most people, when they started in a network marketing company, get started wrong because they were started wrong. Usually a company has, well, let's look at it this way. Here's a product from a network marketing company. Just so you know, I'm not in it, but I love this product. Somebody showed me the business. I wasn't interested in the business, but I did try the product, and I became a preferred customer of this product. Now, I use the product every day. So I'm income real estate for that person.
Yeah.
But I only use a 1-month supply. So let's start with this. Network marketing is about consumers. It's about building a network of consumers. And if you learn how to do that, and it's using culture branding to do it. If you learn how to do that, you can build a mailbox money residual income, a very, very, very big one. But people get all caught up with distributors and getting people and getting other and not knowing what they want to get people to do and customers, and all that's a crock. Because the number one earner in a company, somebody making, let's say, $1 million a year, you know how much product they can consume in a month? About a 1 month supply.
Yeah.
And they're, let's say, my housekeeper, who I give product. She doesn't even know what business I'm in, but I give her product. And she, how much she consumes? About a 1 month supply. And she gets it for free, doesn't even know what it is.
Yeah.
And a college student who's looking to make a couple $100 a month, getting a few people to use the product, you know how much she consumes in a month? About a month's supply. And you know her mother, who buys the product primarily because her daughter in college is, you know, got a little business going, you know how much she uses in a month? About a month's supply. So what it's really about is every person is first and foremost a consumer. So, do you like the product that you are building your whole future around enough that you would use it every single month, even if there was no business associated with it? And if the answer is no, you have picked the wrong company.
Gotcha.
So let's start there. If the answer is yes, then chances are your ongoing qualification for auto ship is nothing more than what you yourself can use, usually about a month's supply. Yep. Or a couple, you know, or a 2 month supply max. What a household can use. So sign up for that, because duplication starts with what you do, not what you ask others to do. Because you're getting duplication whether you want it or not. So now we don't have to worry about that. If every person comes into the business understanding that everybody's a consumer first, and they set up their ongoing consumption, we got that taken care of. That's problem number one. Now, how do most people get started? Most companies have a small, a medium, and a large package. I want everybody to start at the large package, which is usually about anywhere from 10 to 20 1-month supplies. Now, that isn't because I want to get a lot of volume. That isn't because I want to dump product on somebody. And by the way, buying the big box is not the key. The key is, if you only need about a 1-month supply, what happens? Now, most people order that and they want to go get a bunch of other people to order it as well. What do we need to do? Well, let's assume that 90%, 99% of the people that join your business don't even know what it is, and in about 120 days, they're not going to be that excited about building a business anymore, but we know they love that product because it's the first thing we found out. We want them to stay on AutoShip, right? Okay. Well, they now have about a year's supply in that box. So what's the first thing we can do to be successful? Help them get that product into the marketplace and get their money back. This is where the friends and family come in. Do not put them in your business. When everybody says, I don't want to talk to my friends and family about a business, you're right. Those people are people that you go to be trial customers. Underline the word trial customers. People you go to for help. Network marketing is about marketing to your network. And what is your best network on day one? That it is your hot network, not your warm market, not your cold market, but your hot market. Yes. People that love you so well, love you so much, know you so well that they wouldn't trust your decision about business no matter what it was anyway. There are people you ask for help. Uncle Fred, Aunt Susie, Sister Sue, my best friend from college, the person you call if you run out of gas. I've gotten involved with a business. I'm very excited about it. I don't know much about it, but that's okay because I'm not asking you to join. I'm not asking you to be a customer. I am asking you to help me out. I had the chance to advance myself to Starfleet Commander or whatever it is. All I had to do was get 8 to 10 people to try my product one time, give me their opinion, give me their testimonial. I want you to buy a 1-month supply. Use it. If you like it, great. You can be a customer. I'll even show you the business at that time, a month from now. If you don't like it, you never have to buy it again. Yep. There's not a person in the world that can't do that. And for a network marketing business to work, You have to build it around something that everybody can do. Not everybody will do it, but they can. Because everybody has 25, 30 people in their hot market. So you go out, you talk to your hot market, you get them to buy the 1 month supply, try the product. Now, if the product's good, the product will convert a certain number of people in your hot market to be consumers when you follow up with them. 1, 2, 3, whatever. Now, that's gone. People can get that done before the product shows up, and I encourage people to do that in their first 72 hours. Get all that product gone, get their money back. Help your new person do that. Yeah. Because now you've got a person that's got a story and a person that's excited that can go out and talk to their warm market, not to be confused with their hot market, and lead with the business. Yes. And when people ask what happened for you, well, I got involved. I got $500, $1,000 of the product. I got on the phone. I was out of product before it came in. Got all my money back, and now I'm sharing a business with you. And if, are you happy? We'll talk about how to talk to people in a second, and you go on from there. This is something so nobody ever has to sell product, Yannick. They share their initial order with their hot market one time, trial customers one time, get their money back, stay on auto ship with a product they were going to use anyway, and for the rest of time, they lead with the business. Some people will say yes, some people will say no, but try the product and see if they in fact want to become long-term customers. Some people will not do anything, and you just go through that process and then teach others to do what you've already done. Yeah, and that mechanism makes the product not just move in a large box from the company to you so that you have a year's supply, but out to your network to get sampled. And over time, people continue to use it, more people have exciting stories, and your income grows residually. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. And I think you don't even need, like, if you're network marketing, you can do it this way, but also if you're like in an online business and doing information product, it's the same fundamentals, right? Yeah.
Same thing, fundamentals. If you have a product, because the business is not for everyone, and people need to understand the business is not for everyone, the products typically are universal and should be for the majority of people that you know. If you're selling something if you are marketing, not even selling, because you never need to sell. If you are marketing something that doesn't have mass appeal, that's probably going to be more difficult to move.
Yeah, makes total sense. Let me see if there are some questions already. If you guys have any questions on what Lisa just shared, like all of her wisdom, just leave a question in the comments box.
Yeah, let us know you're here, and let us know if you're understanding this and if this makes any kind of sense to you, because it's always good to get feedback.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at it right now.
Let me see, because I'm not sure if they're posting in the group or on the page, so let me check real quick. Let me refresh the group.
There are 10 people watching here, I'm seeing.
All right.
So before we go any further, why don't you let me know if you understand what I've said so far, and we'll move on.
I totally understand it. I totally, like, you shared it with me already, so I was pretty excited about it, because it actually makes total sense to activate your hot market first and get that, that story going, and then help them.
Let me make it very simple.
Yeah.
When you're young, the people that are your go-to people to buy your Girl Scout cookies, if you're a Girl Scout, your chocolate bars, if you're in the band, these are the very same people you go to try your network marketing products out of your box when you start a network marketing company. And by the way, it's not a lot of people. It's only 10, 15 maximum in that initial thing. And by the way, if that sounds like a lot, network marketing large incomes are created by lots and lots and lots of people using and consuming product and sharing that and sharing the vision and sharing the community with others. That starts with you. If you're not willing to share it with 10 or 12 people that you know very, very well, where are all these people going to come from? Because it starts within your network. Yeah. Now, once you've done that, you're going to go out and talk to people. And I don't care if you're talking to people online or if you're finding people that are coming to you because they're actively looking, or you're talking to people out in the real world in an old-fashioned offline way. It really doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, here's where the mistakes start. Most people think they have to be very compelling, they have to be very interesting, they have to get really good at a bunch of stuff. They get all caught up in themselves and their ability to present or be clever, or be this, or their own credibility, none of which matters. Because the person that you're talking to is most interested in what people, in their most favorite subject.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of the people on the planet, Yannick, what's their favorite subject?
They love themselves.
Themselves.
Talking about
The
themselves.
easiest way to be interesting is to be interested in them. So from the moment that you start talking to somebody, it's not about you, it's about them and finding out where they're at. Because every person who ever made a decision to get involved in their own home-based business, right before they did it, right before they signed up, right before they got involved, they thought, here's what went through their mind. Yeah. There is something that I want that I don't have, that I think maybe this might help me get. I've seen something here that might lead me to something that I don't have that I want. And every part of that scenario is about themselves. Yeah. Very little of it has to do with you. And the part that has to do with you should only be them thinking how interested you are in helping them get the something that they want, that they don't have, that this might help them get. And this is how you get there. When you talk to people, it is all about them. And I have built my whole business around 3 questions. And you don't start with these 3 questions. You make it about them. And this, before I get into the questions, let me give you a good exercise. Online, offline. Go out, take 5 people at random from your network over the course of the next week. If you're an online builder, do it that way. And get them talking about themselves. See how long you can get somebody to talk only about themselves. If they try to make it about you, just turn it back to them and just keep asking them questions about themselves. Where, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? Why did you pick there? Why would you, have you ever been there? What would what's your favorite color? Why did you pick that color? What would you like to be when you grow up? It doesn't matter, because very quickly it will take on a life of its own.
Yeah, and I remember our first conversation was like when we first spoke. You asked me all those questions, right? I think we were actually talking like maybe for what, 30 minutes or about me. I was like, wow, this is actually a really cool conversation. But I was like, hey, I haven't actually asked you any questions. And then after that, you explained the whole fundamentals and the whole strategy behind it. I was like, whoa.
And I truly am interested.
True.
I'm totally interested. So here's how you build it. It's 3 questions. Are you happy? And I don't mean are you happy like are you having a nice day? The are you happy, and it's your own words. I don't teach scripts. I teach concepts. What you really want to know is, are you happy? Is life meeting its expectations? Are you where you want to be? Is the road you're on getting you where you want to go? And some follow-up said, if time and money weren't an issue, what would you be doing? And how does that compare to what you are doing? In other words, is this the life, are you living the life you want to be living? And if nothing changes for you, is that life in your future? Because ultimately the answer 100% of the time is going to eventually get to no. And the question isn't, do you want more money? Because there are a lot of people that you will meet in life. Money's not the thing. People go through 3 stages of life. First, it's about survival. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to buy my clothes? How am I going to make sure my kids have what they need? Then it becomes about success, and success is different for different people. But then ultimately it becomes about significance. And a lot of people that have made a lot of money, now it's about making a difference, about what am I going to leave behind after I go? How am I going to be remembered? And in this business, you have an opportunity to touch lives and help people in ways that you don't with others. There's a ripple effect where you can actually, be heard and seen and impact lives around the world, especially with technology today. So, eventually the answer is going to be, are you happy? No. Because the next question is, do you have a plan? Now, you're not asking, do you have a plan to hear the plan? They don't have a plan. If they had a plan, why would they be talking to you? They'd be out working their plan. It's to get them to mentally and specifically get to a point where they're saying, you know what? I'm not happy. My life isn't going where I want it to go, and I don't have a plan to change that. Because the next question is, wait, do you want to see one? It probably isn't for you. I'm sure you're going to probably love the products. Almost everybody does. But although the plan probably isn't for you, You don't have a plan. I've got one. And if you do see what's something, together I think we could crush it. And if it isn't the right plan for you, you're going to see some great products, and at least you'll be looking for a plan because we've just established you need one.
Yeah.
And you're the person who helped them realize that. You're their cheerleader because you're not looking to get people in your business. You're looking to get the right people in your business. And the right person is the person who it resonates with, who's ready to make a change in their lives. So when you get somebody in front of the information, which, by the way, you don't have to be able to tell them in an interesting, compelling way, that's where you want that duplication piece, that video or that meeting or that anything that isn't you, so that the next guy can get the next guy who can get the next guy in front of it quickly, and everybody can be looking at the same story. That story doesn't change. The factor that is different is your story, and how you treat them, and how you help manage their expectations, and how you make them the most important thing. Because everyone is wearing a sign that says, imagine that everyone is wearing an invisible sign that says, make me feel important and make me care about what it is that you're doing enough that it becomes my cause, not just yours. And when people defy expectations and you are the person who puts them first, you are now building a team of people that want to be there versus getting people for what you want, and nobody wants to be gotten for anything. Nobody wants to help you fulfill your dreams. They want to share a vision with you in a collective cause where it fulfills everybody's dreams. So that's what it is. So part one is make the mechanism work by making sure people get their money back, by moving the product into the marketplace, that small amount of product, to the small group of people that will help them no matter what. Part two is going out and being interested in people and helping them realize that they're not happy, that they need a plan, that you have a plan, might not be the one they're looking for, but at least you've got some good products and you'll help them figure out they need one. And here's what happens, folks. Some people are going to look at that and say, you know, this is it. It resonates with me, because they're in the right frame of mind when they look at it, and they're going to lock arms and go. Some people are going to look at it and go, you know, I don't really get this. I don't think this is the thing for me, but gosh, Yannick seems so sure. I think I'm just going to do it because he's so sure and I don't know what I want to do anyway. Now, those people are more inclined to quit after 3 months, or quit being really aggressive after 3 months. But you know what? If you help them get their product out and get their money back, if they introduce a few people during those 3 months, you never know who they'll lead you to. And if you have a great community and good events and stuff they like being a part of, the community is the ultimate funnel. They'll hang around. Who knows? Timing changes, opinions change. You never know who they'll lead you to. And they'll keep using the product, and so will the people that they introduced, and your check grows. Some people will say, you know what? This really isn't for me, but gosh, that Yannick, that Mary, that Emily, they really cared about me. I'm going to at least try. I'll buy a month's supply of their product and see if I like it, and maybe I'll be a customer, or maybe I'll meet other people along the way that I can introduce them to, that maybe this will be the right thing for them. You cannot lose when you remember that we're in the shipping business. That would be relation shipping. That's what we do.
Nice.
All the rest of it is just components of what we do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, Lisa. Wow, I always love talking to you. This is amazing. So to add that up, I have one question here from Emily, and she's asking, what is the best way to introduce your new business venture? And actually, you already kind of went through that with your stage just now. So I think your question is answered there, Emily. Or do you want to add something else to that?
Emily, did that cover that for you, or I'm looking at the questions now, or is there something else that we need?
And the next question she had was, and how do you maintain your warm market interest in your product? And I think also that was answered by, you know, having that community. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I always ask people if they want to try the product. When I go to the hot market, I ask people to try the product for as long as is necessary to get the optimum result. Some products, a month's supply will do it. Some products, it requires like 9, they say you need to be on the product for 4 months. That's why We always, always, always look for a lot of people doing a little. You go to your hot market because they love you, and they'll do what you ask them to do because they love you. So if I go to someone in my hot market and I say, I want you to be my product tester, I want you to buy my product and use it for 90 days because that's what we consider to be the optimum period to get the results. If at the end of 90 days they don't love it, they don't feel that they're getting the value for it, I'm okay if they never want to use it again because that's the product's job. See, network marketing is not about sales. It's about being a messenger, not the message. Our job is to manage expectations and hook people up with stuff that they aren't aware of and get them to try it. The product's job is to get the person to be a long-term consumer. And if the product, and when you go to your hot market, you're a consumer, you shouldn't be here. And if you take it to 10, 12, 14 people in your hot market, remember I said a model has to be built around the minimums? Yep. Well, if you have 10 products in your box, let's say, $500 package has 10 one-month supplies. One for you, one to show people, hey, this is what our product is, that's 8. Well, once you get 8 people in your hot market to say, yes, they'll try it for you and buy it, you've got most of your money back. Now, that's the minimum. That's all we need to have happen to make the model work because our new person now has a story, has their money back, has product in the marketplace, and chances are if the product is good, then at least 2 of those people, given that they are people that love them and the product is good, the product will turn them into consumers. So now you have 3 in your business, your new person. But he probably still has 15 people in his hot market he hasn't called and asked yet. They can keep going. They can call the rest of their hot market, and when those people say yes, call the company and get more product and sell to them. They don't have to make the model work because we've already gotten their money back from that initial big order, and now they're going to be on auto ship. Yep. So there's no law that says you have to be a minimalist. If you're going to get to the top of your company, probably you're not going to be a minimalist. But what we teach, what we look to duplicate, is what is the minimum that can make it work. You see, you want to always be network marketing is a earn while you learn. It is a business of fundamentals and skills that have to be learned to move to different stages. But you want people to have success at whatever stage they're at. When you first get started, we all want to look for people that have some experience or have done this before, etc. But sooner or later, network marketing, internet marketing, home-based business, whatever it is, a company's business is going to make its way out to the street. And by the street, I mean it's going to get to the people who have never done anything on their own before. It's the first time they've ever ventured into entrepreneurship. And what does that person have on day one as far as skills go? None. We have to assume. So what do they have? They have excitement and fear. They just spent money. They've got all this product they're looking at going, well, okay, I've got a 10-month supply and I'm afraid to talk to anybody, etc. What they also have is a network of people that love and care about them that will help them if asked, but will think they're crazy if they call up and say, I started a business, get in now, it's going to be huge, blah, 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 which is why their friends and family usually laugh at them. But they don't laugh when you call and ask for their help and you ask for something reasonable. Help me out. Try my product. Give me your opinion. You don't have to stay on it. If you don't get a good result, I'll understand, etc. Everybody with me? So now, can everybody? Let's look at what people can do. Some people, like chiropractors, can move a ton of product, but can everybody do that? No. Some people can build capture pages and drive traffic and blog and create interest and create sales that way. Can everybody do that, especially on day one? No. Some people have great influence and have big networks they can go out and sell to in the real world and move a lot of product. Can everybody do that? No. But can everybody go to their hot market, 8, 10, 12 people that have known them forever and ask them for help and get help? Absolutely. That's why we do that. Yep. Then the next thing is, can everybody put people on 3-way calls? Yes, that's why we use them. Can everybody ask somebody to watch a video? Yes, that's why we do it. Can everybody invite somebody to listen to somebody else do a conference call? Absolutely. That's why we do it. So when you say how do you get people to maintain interest in your product, you don't have to. You're looking for those that are looking for whatever you have at a given moment. Having said that, the fortune is in the follow-up. So you always want to follow up with people with new information, because either their timing can change. You know, I've spoken to Yannick about doing something together. And we're both interested in doing that. His timing wasn't good a couple of months ago, so I followed up and let him know what's going on. His timing is changing. I've told him new information, and we're moving toward a point where that's going to work.
Yeah.
So, but I wouldn't call him every day to tell him the same thing I told him yesterday, because then I'd be a nag. I have nothing new to say, and obviously, has your timing changed since yesterday? That would be a little bit crazy. So you always want to, you know, keep it kind of going that way. Yeah. So the key with your warm market is to keep them apprised of new information on a timely basis. Ask their permission. Is it okay if I keep you updated as things change? Is it okay if I check back with you to see what's changed in your life and if your timing is better? And you always do that. Always. And also, a lot of times your warm market, they don't really have a lot of faith that you're still going to be there. You'd be surprised how 90 days, 120 days later, 6 months is a magic number. If you're still doing something 6 months later and your story has changed, not, you know, I'm still signed up, but let me tell you what's happened in the last 6 months, and you've actually got a story that shows progress, improvement, and results, people that never took you seriously all of a sudden will. It's amazing. So I hope that answers your question.
Love it, yes. And it's actually very funny because in our industry, a lot of people are like business hopping because they actually think that the business is going to give them the success, where it's always in themselves. So saying that you have like that magic 6 months, that's actually pretty powerful. Because if somebody is still in the business for 6 months, it really means something is growing there. He's not just trying it out. And another question actually that just came in here was...
I see it.
All right, cool.
Okay, people will always tell you who they are by their actions. 85% of your production in any endeavor in life will always be done by 15% of the people. That's just the way life works. Any organization, anything. So in network marketing, you always want, and in any type of home-based business, entrepreneurs are great at many things. They're not very good at management. They're not very good at managing their time. They don't tend to stop and think they're through their actions sometimes, and it can cause some issues. You always want to put your efforts where they're deserved, not where they're needed. So people, by their actions, determine who you spend time with. I work with people. You work with your, if you look at the numbers I just said, let's say it's 85% of the activities done by 15%. That means that in any group of 20 people, 3 are going to be your big producers, and 17 are kind of going to be the group that hangs out, does a little bit here, does a little bit there. The challenge is most people, instead of focusing in on the 3 that are the producers, they get lost in 17 land. They chase the 17, they nag at the 17, they try to push the 17 uphill, and eventually chase them right out of the business, forgetting that it's their business. And the 17 are great. We want them to come to the events. They'll use the product. You never know who they'll introduce you to, but you work with them in group. You can work with hundreds of people at the same time in group, like we're doing right now. But you put your efforts where they're deserved, not where they're needed. Even if your check suffers today, you put your efforts where they're deserved, not where they're needed. Because ultimately, the success in network marketing does not come from sponsoring the most people. The top recruiter is never the top earner. The success comes from working through people, to people, respecting everybody's right to build their business to whatever degree of success they're looking for, but never misleading them as to what is required for what to happen. In other words, if somebody's goal is to make $100 a month, and they make $100 a month, we celebrate that. That is success. If grandma wants to make $300 to spoil the grandkids and not have grandpa know about it, and she does that, go grandma. We're ecstatic. But I can teach that to grandma in group. So if you want to make $10,000 a month and grandma wants to make $300 a month and you're spending your time working with 10 grandmas and that's taking all your time, somebody's going to be unhappy. You can't force the grandma group to want more than they want just to get you what you want. That's not right. On the same token, they can't expect you to devote all your time to them when it's not necessary, because everything that they need can be taught in groups. So what you have to do is make your business very accountable. When I work mine, we have a proven system of success. When somebody comes to the business, they will move their product to their hot market. Why? It's something that everybody can do. So if they don't want to do that, that's okay. It's their business. But I'm not going to go with somebody to step 2 till they complete step 1, because I know that over time that's what works and duplicates. When I got started in the business, I was told by my mentors, do everything, you do exactly what you're told that works till you're making $10,000 a month, and then you can change what you want. But what you'll find is you won't want to change much, and that's true. Most of the people that are consistently over time, not a check here and there, not for a while, but that continually go back to work and know how to do it, they don't get lucky. They don't go recruit a team from here to here that bring all the people. Not that that doesn't happen, but they can go out day one, brand new people, and build it time and time again. Do it because they know how to do it. It's not a lack of information. So how can you tell who's serious from who's not? By what they're doing.
Perfect.
By the results.
And actually, to go into on what you just said, like I had a question here from Kevin. He's asking like, how can he stay consistent? Because a lot of people in this industry, like, they get excited when they just join a business, they're really pumped up, and then after a week or after 2 weeks, you know, the excitement just goes down and down and down. So what would you do, or what do you advise?
That was an oxymoron. You just used the word business and 2 weeks in the same sentence. There is no 2-week business. Yeah. There is no business that you're in for 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Businesses, you can make money in 2 weeks. I can buy something and sell something and make some money. That's a transaction. But a business is a developed, building, growing thing with no beginning and no end. I mean, it has a beginning, but it has no end. It's fluid. It's always going. It has ups. It has downs. You learn. You adapt. So how can you stay consistent? That's a decision, and it's planning, and it's having a vision of what you're creating. Yeah. You see, most people don't get into a business. They get into a fantasy, and they don't examine it. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month. They have unrealistic expectations of what they can do in 90 days. And because of that, and they never really sit down and think about what they want, what they can accomplish in a year. And because of that, they never have a plan they're working. They just have this horrific 90 days they're repeating over and over and over again in a variety of companies and endeavors. The companies change, the products change, but the 90 days is over and over and over again. And it's like a horrific Groundhog Day, and the years go by. Most of the people that I talk to that tell me all the money they're going to make, they can't show me how. They don't understand the comp plan in their own company. They'll tell me how their upline lied to them, or they didn't understand this, or they didn't understand that. That's not a business. A business is doing the work and understanding that 90 days from now is when you will see the results of what you've done today in anything in life. Yep. You know, so 90 days from now, if you don't even know what's going on. You're planting the seeds and you're developing the business, and the money comes. You know, a lot of people, here's the question, and this is how I build my businesses. Most people think they're going to get rich right away in network marketing. Now, you can make money in direct sales right away. You can go out and the majority of the money comes, if it's 2 levels, comes to you, and you're making a sale and it's over. That's transactional. But network marketing the real money in network marketing comes from a lot of people consuming, a very large group of consumption. If you want to make a 6-figure income that is residual in network marketing, you're talking about over $1 million worth of consumption that's going on in a year's time. If you want to make 6 figures in a month, you're talking about well over $1 million worth of revenue that's been created within your network of consumers. So that's not slamming a bunch of packages where people don't know how to move their product, so that there's no need for ongoing consumption because they've got a year's supply and they're frustrated. That doesn't develop and grow. That stalls and stops. So here's the question. If I could show you how to build a mailbox money, residual income within 12 to 18 months of $2,000 to $20,000 a month without giving up your right now source of income, would that be enough to make you happy? Because I could teach people how to do that all day long. You know, if I could teach you how to know, if I could teach you how to pick viable, good companies, because there are good companies and there are bad companies. Once you get to good companies, then you have to pick which one resonates with you. You love the products, you love the management team, you love the vision. What is it that really excites you? Because you have to be so passionate about it that on the 27 days a month that you want to quit, the vision of what you're creating, what you see, is enough to keep you going for the 3 days a month that you are so captivated by what is happening that you remember why you're doing it in the first place. Yeah. Most people get into something because they think that they're going to get in before the other people get there, or they got the timing right. But again, it's network marketing. It's what's going on in your network. Does all this make sense? All right, let me see my questions.
Okay. No, that makes total sense. Like for me, I actually keep a journal where I document everything, my vision, my goals, everything I do, I document in my journal. And that keeps me going because I just go in here and be like reading my vision and my goals, and it keeps me motivated. Every morning I just read it and I know it's in here. Another question that somebody asked here was, if you're prospecting somebody and the person says, hey, I'm interested, but they just procrastinate for like days, how do you deal with it? How do you get people to take action immediately?
How do I get people to take action? You can't get people to do anything.
All right.
People you take action when you are ready. I take action when I'm ready. Again, you're framing the question wrong. You're making your success dependent on what other people will do. And that's completely beyond your control. You're not looking to get action. You're not looking to get people to take action immediately. You're looking for those who are ready. You're looking for those that are looking for you. Now, the way that you can help people figure out where they're at is to ask better questions. If you want better answers from other people for your own business, for your own life, you have to ask better questions. Better answers come from better questions. Most people ask things like, why does this always have to be? Why isn't this working? A better question is, what can I learn from this? How can I make it work better? Here's another example. Most people, Yannick, if I told you that I've got a business that 97 out of 100 people that try it fail, but the 3 out of 100 people that are doing it are making millions, is that a business that would interest you?
I'd say yes, because those 3 people are doing something right. If I can learn from those 3 people, or if I know what I'm doing and I'm doing the same thing, it's gonna be hard for me to fail actually. But okay. I don't know who those other 97 people are.
I said yes when I was asked the question too, but you know what I found out later? Yes is a better answer than no. But you know what's funny? Neither one of us gave the best answer. You know what the best answer was? No. I don't know. Let me meet the 3 people that are having the success, find out what it is they're doing, and if it's something that I'm able to do, and if it's something that I want to and am willing to do, then I'll give you my answer.
Nice.
But here's what most people do. In almost every business in life, no matter what it is, the majority of people that are doing it are failing at it. And rather than going and finding the people that are successful and finding out what they're doing, you'll usually find them in the corner with all the people that are failing, talking about all the reasons it didn't work. Successful people go to the people that are making something work to try to find out what they're doing to make it work. Everybody else is busy talking about why it doesn't work. I've seen companies where one team is having great success and one team is having miserable success. It's the same company. But you'd never know it if you look at the way that they're building and what they're saying, and the way that they're going about it. To quote my father, well, let's go with a different one. See this bottle of water?
Yeah.
It is half empty. It's also half full. Yeah. And that's the challenge, because both those statements are 100% true. Which one serves you better? There's a group of people that believe it's half empty. The way that they look at things is with scarcity mentality. They're afraid to drink anymore because soon it's going to be empty and there won't be any more. Another group of people look at it and say, well, there's always water. You can always find water.
Yeah.
Many people think that the world is running out of opportunity, and they suffer from fear of loss. And fear of loss fear of loss will make you lose every time.
Yeah.
But there are people that know how to capitalize on other people's fear of loss, and they end up winning at other people's expense because of it. You know, but I don't really believe that people can be victimized the way they say they are, because that's their own greed that takes them in. Oh, get in this thing and you're going to get, I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to build your check, people. Do they ever even stop and say, well, wait, well, how much money have you made? Because if somebody hasn't even made themselves rich, how are they going to make you rich? Even if they believe they can. But if you ask better questions, dig deep, sometimes you'll find that the information was right there in front of you, but did you investigate enough, or did you get caught up in something? You know, it's funny, I'm not an online person, but I actually recruited a couple of people recently, my big online recruits. And let me tell you how it happened. I got this email from somebody, a Facebook email, and it said, you have been failing online. You don't know how to make money online. Learn how to make lots of money online. It was like some canned email. And I just I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole tone of it. So I emailed the person back and said, you know, I am not an online moneymaker. I've never tried to make money online. So you're correct when you say that I have made no money online, but I certainly haven't failed at it.
Yeah.
But I am a 7-figure earner offline. So I'm just curious, because I don't believe you can teach anybody to do anything you haven't done. So what is it, how much money have you made at whatever it is you're going to teach me how to do?
Well, that's the response.
Oh, they confessed. They sent me back, you know, I probably shouldn't have sent this email, but this was the snipe?
Yeah, swipe coffee.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but this is the swipe that I was given to send out to people. And it worked because you responded.
Wow.
I said, well, if the objective was to get some people to respond, yes, it worked because I want to try to help you, because I don't think the kind of responses you're going to get are going to serve you well. One, I don't think a lot of people are going to respond and sign up at anything with you based on this. And if they do, what kind of people do you think are going to respond to this? And what kind of success are you going to have? And in the end, I ended up, you know, sponsoring him in something. Because I felt like I could teach him how to work with people. Which brings me to the final point. I don't know how to snipe or swipe or whatever it was you were saying. I do know how to Skype, though, so I got one of those right.
Awesome.
But I do know how to work with people.
Yeah.
And the question was, how do you get people to? It's all about people. And I find that if you ask people questions, which comes back to, are you happy? If people are not happy where they're at, and you ask them enough questions, it's not how you get people to go to action quicker. It's why aren't they? What's holding people back? And only they know. And if you're interested enough in them to stop thinking about how that getting them to action will benefit you, and you can make it about them, and if you can help them find out what they're afraid of, because the simple thing that stops people is always fear.
Yeah.
And if you can help reduce it to the ridiculous and make them realize what are they afraid of. This group that we worked with in this pilot group, they were so afraid that their family wasn't going to help them. Well, that's not a realistic fear. Realistically, if you call your family up like a lunatic with something you just got into that you can't explain, that you know nothing about, that you tell them they should get into that they can't explain, that they know nothing about, of course they're going to think you're crazy. Guess what? You sound crazy. They should think you're crazy. But if you call up someone in your family and you say, look, I've gotten involved with something, I'm really excited about it. I'm not asking you to buy, I'm not asking you to become a customer. I'm not asking you to join it. I just really want you to buy a month's supply, buy a box of my cookies. Try it. Give me your opinion. And if you like it, continue to use it. And if you don't, you don't have to. Can you help me out? The majority of people that love you are going to say yes to that because it's a reasonable request.
Yeah.
And the first time they might be a little trepidatious. But once a couple of their family members say yes, they realize, okay, I did that. Because the way that you get better at something is to do it. And of course, the first time you do it, you're going to suck. Do you remember the first time you rode a bicycle? The first meeting I ever gave, I was terrible. So why not practice on your family? I don't want to sponsor them anyway. But the 10th time you do it, you're going to be better than the first time. And the 100th time, you're going to be better than the 10th time. And there's no way to replace experience other than to get the experience.
Love it. Yeah.
So helping people get started is by making them feel better, which brings you back to where we started.
Yeah.
It's all about how
The
people
circle.
feel. It's not about your product. Products are commodities. There isn't a product. They have to be good, but there isn't a product today that people can't find an alternative to. It's not about how great the opportunity is, because it's only a great opportunity once somebody learns how to work the opportunity. And on day one, they don't know how. And they're only going to get from here to here if they feel good about themselves and aren't made to feel stupid along the way. And unfortunately, sometimes we're in such a hurry and we're so excited, we forget the people that we're trying to help may not be as in tune and as excited as we are. So take your eyes off what you want and keep your vision on what you're creating and on them, but tough love. You know, I love you, I want you with me, but with you or without you, I'm going. An attitude of certainty. People don't want to get left behind. That can help. I have a training on my story and the ABCs of success online at learnwithlisanow.com. I'm going to post it other places, but Yannick can give you that link.
Yeah,
And
I'll post a link.
but that's not the place I really ultimately want you to go. What he hasn't told you, and he'll tell you at some point, is this is really a likes for Lisa telethon. I do have a fan. My big entree online is I do have a fan page on Facebook now, and I now have a tab. So when you go and like my fan page, please click whatever you're supposed to click. That will also get you on my list, which doesn't have a welcome letter yet, but it will soon. I am going to start a newsletter and be doing a lot more generic training like this, and a lot of things to help people. And I'm going to bring my partner online who's going to help people do some trainings on how to talk to people and how to put together your PowerPoints for your various opportunities and anything that we can do to help people, because I believe in network marketing. I believe in internet marketing. I believe in home-based business and entrepreneurship like nobody you will ever meet. I am a true believer, and I really want to help everybody take control of their destiny and make as much success and feel as good about themselves as they can every day, because whether you realize it or not, the best thing that you could do for yourself is go out and make other people feel better. If you can go make anybody else feel better, you will feel great. You will be a hero in someone else's story, and it will help you do better in your business. Because at the end of the day, the business that you're really in is the better people business. We're just helping people to do better, and the various companies that we choose are the vehicles that allow us to do that. And if you help enough people get clarity and be specific, and you learn how to ask questions that help people become clear, you will have great success in this business, because the mechanics are easy to learn. They may take a lifetime to master, but really being good at helping other people to zero in on what they are feeling and what they want is really what will help you have great success.
Love it. I love it right there. Thank you very much for that, Lisa. I just want to give one more minute for you guys to ask any questions if you have. Natasha, there's going to be a replay, so I know you weren't able to comment on the page. Lydia says, thank you, Lisa.
And also, we can, and Yannick knows that we can do as many of these as you like. I'm always available, and if you have specific topics that you like us to train on or do things on, or if I can help you with any of your groups or teams, all you have to do is find me. I love to do that. And
perfect.
Keeps me young. I am turning 52 next month. You can all send me Facebook messages saying I don't look like I'm turning 52 next month, and God knows how many training sessions that'll get you, because I just love people that can lie to me well about how I look.
Oh, I thought you were 25, Lisa. I didn't know.
Oh, see, that's why I'm here, because
Awesome. All right. It seems that there's no other questions here anymore. Thank you very much again, Lisa. I want to get you and Curtis on next time. So
we'd
just so
be
you know
delighted, and anything we can do to help, we would just be thrilled.
Awesome, great, great. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in here at Entrepreneur and connect with Lisa. I posted the link in the group, so please reach out to her, send her a message, and she will be glad to help you out. And until then, I wish you a very good night or day wherever you are. And thank you
And
again, Lisa.
like my page and get on my list. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye bye.